Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
All right, it's Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's June 27th. I'm Joe Callahan, and at the Coffee Ann table, we'll say hello and good morning to Linda Tebow. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here with us. Ed Carew is back with us again this week. Thanks for joining us, Ed.
Hey, how you doing?
We're well. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. All right, it's time for first message from the Carew Investment Group. So, Ed, it's all yours. Take as much time as you need. Linda, let's go.
Okay.
All right, see y'all later. Bring me back breakfast.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. If you're looking for an investment firm to put you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work with an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free no obligation consultation and find out more about how we'll invest your money, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed. All right, thank you. And so, Linda, Ed was not here last week.
I know,
No,
we
he
missed
wasn't.
him.
So we couldn't say last week, Ed, you were right. We have to wait till this week.
Okay.
Ed, you were right.
And Ed was right.
Because it was 2 weeks ago
2 weeks ago.
that Ed said that when the Feds got together, they were not going to raise interest rates.
Right, he was right.
And Ed was right.
Yes.
Again, they listened to him, and they
Yeah.
did not raise interest rates. Now, we'll see what happens in. They get together in July.
July 25th.
Okay.
Well, you give them a call.
I'll let them know what I want to say.
Let them know. Let
Yeah,
them know.
This is
All
what
right.
you
I'll
should
send
do
them a
then.
prepared text, prepared speech.
All right, and we just heard of the last 5 seconds of our national news because they had to fill it with something. They said, "Oh, stock's going to be looking to rebound because things closed down yesterday. Oh, is the sky falling yet? Should we be really
No,
worried?"
the sky is not falling.
Phew,
You know.
Lord, yeah,
Regardless of what you hear or I've heard in the past, the sky has never fallen.
No, never.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
So everything's okay, huh? No, this is not the time to panic.
You
I'll let
heard
you
it
know.
here.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so that's good. Anything else coming up money wise? Companies, what are they doing this week? Anything of important note?
Well, there's a few earnings coming out, not many. Walgreens reported earnings this morning. They were not very good.
Is that because they close some stores? You know, you see them closing stores out in California because they just keep getting ripped off.
Yeah. Well, they reported earnings that weren't as expected because mostly because their pharmacy sales are down because nobody getting COVID shots this year.
Okay.
So that's way down, and they said that people are being more value conscious. Those are the words of the CEO who was, on his press release this morning. People are more value conscious. They're not spending as freely.
Is that a veiled way of him saying that their prices are too high?
No,
All
he's
right.
saying that the economy is slowing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, it could also be that their pharmacies are closed a lot, too.
Not
because
enough
they don't
to-
have enough pharmacists.
Well, that would go along with the pharmacy sales being down.
Down, that's what I mean,
But as far
yeah.
as the economy, as far as the shoppers being more value conscious, I don't think that has to do with
Right.
the pharmacy.
Oh, no, but I mean, I think it's probably not making as
Yeah.
much money because they don't have enough pharmacists. And, well, they're all closing. A lot, they don't have the same hours as they used to.
No, they have a problem getting
Pharmacists. Yeah.
and stuff like that.
All right. Around here, the CVS is around here. Do they close? Does the pharmacy close for lunch?
I don't
around
know. I know
here?
Walgreens does, but I don't know about.
Well, the CVS I go to,
Does it?
that's closer to my home, which
Yeah,
is in Mansfield. The big signs are up. They close from 1:30 to 2. So the pharmacist can take lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the group.
I think it's a company-wide thing.
Is that a
or
company-wide
at least
thing?
locally.
Yeah.
By locally, I don't mean just Woonsocket.
Yeah.
It's that way around our house in
Everywhere.
Middleborough, and because if you go on their website and you click on change stores or something,
Yeah.
a list of 20 stores come up. They all say the same thing.
Same thing. Okay, so I didn't know if that was a singular store or if it's a company-wide thing. So it sounds like it's a company-wide thing. But I always thought, well, how about, if you're the pharmacist, okay, you take lunch, but everybody else can keep working.
Well, they generally
They
have
can't,
at least
yeah.
one pharmacist, if not more than one.
Well,
They
right.
have, but it's kind of tough because a lot of the stores do have only one pharmacist, and if that guy's out to lunch, and somebody comes in with a question for the pharmacist, it's like,
Well, they're at lunch right now.
yeah, lunch.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
but if you're just coming in just to pick up a prescription,
yeah,
the person ringing the register, they're not the pharmacist. They should be able to, you don't all have to take lunch at the same time.
No, no, that's true.
But,
But
they
a
just
lot of
close
those
it down.
farm techs, as far as filling prescriptions, they
Yeah.
probably need a pharmacist present
Well, yeah,
while they're filling.
but if they're already filled, I'm saying.
Right, to pick up.
I'm
to
just
pick
picking
up.
out.
Yeah,
And I know they close
yeah.
down
But one of the things they
drive-thru,
always
too.
ask you is, do you have any questions for the pharmacist?
pharmacist. Yeah,
You're right.
exactly.
I always say no.
Right. But the one time that the pharmacist wouldn't be there, you'd say yes.
Yes, I have a
Yeah.
question.
They
for
say,
the
well, come
pharmacist.
back in an hour.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'm
but
not here now.
and
All
that's
right,
the
well, that
thing.
makes sense.
No, but that's the thing with all the pharmacies. It's an inconvenience. Like, I know the Walgreens up in North Smithfield, and probably it's a company-wide thing. Not on a weekend. They're not there.
No
on,
pharmacists on the weekend?
no, they're not there. On the weekend. So,
There's no pharmacist on the weekend?
Wow.
no.
Maybe that's why their sales are down then.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I
Yeah.
think that is why, if they don't have enough pharmacists and they have all these the hours are very,
Yeah.
regimented and few and far between, and it's why. Well, I know why. Pharmacists are golden. They
So
don't
that's
have
the
pharmacists, yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
for the young people. That's a profession to go into then right now. Although it's difficult.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
very
lot of-
difficult.
lot of
It's a
schooling.
doctoral program,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think another part of that is that pharmacies now deliver.
That's true.
And if, and I'm not saying that they have to make a lot of deliveries
Yeah.
out of that particular, people that would be going to that particular store, but it might be enough so that they don't feel like they can afford to have all those hours manned
Yeah.
when stuff is being delivered.
Yeah. Yeah, because they all
okay.
do deliver now.
Yeah, they all
They
do
all
whatever.
deliver.
I don't know how much you have to spend or whatever, but
Yeah.
they do deliver.
Yeah.
Do they use the employees at the store, like a Walgreens or a CVS, or do they use like an Uber to come and deliver?
I don't know.
I don't
I've never
know.
had anything delivered.
I don't know. I doubt if they use the employees from the store.
Yeah.
I would think not.
No, I
We
wouldn't.
just can't afford
No,
to
I wouldn't think
have
so.
you out on the road delivering. Okay, well that's what's going on with CVS and Walgreens right there. So, just looking at other things in the news, front page of today's call. So last Friday, the state police came knocking on Woonsocket City Council person Scott McGee's door.
I heard
Said-
that. Yeah.
We have a search warrant. And what's odd is the search warrant is not for him; it's for his roommate in his roommate's room. And that's all we're going to search. And I guess they seized the roommate's cell phone because there's a suspicion of child pornography on the cell phone. So the roommate's name was not released. This took place at 71 Winter Court. That's where Scott McGee lives. The roommate had lived with him for 2 years. They've known each other for the last 4. He never suspected anything like this. This is Scott McGee. State police arrest records from Friday do not include the arrest, and a spokesperson cannot be reached Monday for a comment. So that's what took place over there. So wow. Scott McGee put out a statement, said he was very cooperative with the law enforcement, permitted the state police to come in and do a search, and they were very professional, and it's just, okay, this is what you got to do, because they have the legal right to do it, and they did it, and they were done. So that's what took place. I don't know if he'll have anything else to say about this at a later time. Just makes you wonder, because, you know, when someone gets arrested, you want to know, well, who was it? But we don't have a name.
Yeah.
And unless you know Scott McGee very well, and I know Scott, but not well enough to know who his roommate is. So, I don't know who it is. So, shocking though.
A very unfortunate circumstance because Scott McGee is a very fine young man.
Mhm.
Does a lot for the communities,
Does very well up there in North Smithfield. Over there, owns Gators Pub and
Gators and Lumberjacks,
and is a real
always
estate.
been very community minded. And it's
Surprising, huh?
Surprising, yes.
So yesterday we had the story that if you're a student at Stanford University, a fine higher education institution out there in California, but then now this coming fall semester, I think it's in the fall semester, they're going to offer a course in Taylor Swift.
I heard that.
And there's going to be an
Yeah.
in-depth, I love that,
Yeah.
an in-depth analysis of her newest album.
Oh, it's
All right,
that
fine.
singular?
Yes.
It's on.
Would you, well, you know, I think there might
wow.
be, excuse me, there might be 10 songs, maybe 12 songs.
No, but I
on
mean
it.
one album,
Just one. And how great it is.
a whole course. How many credits are they getting for that?
Well, that's what that was the joke we were talking about, because I kept reading it and it didn't say. And I said, well, but it did say the class is going to meet every Thursday. I said, okay, if it only meets once a week,
It's
then it's probably just one,
one credit.
if it's anything. And then it said an undergrad sophomore is going to teach the class. I'm like, what's going on here? So maybe there's no credits involved.
Maybe it's just.
We'll just do it for laughs. Now I bring that up because we got a note written in
Oh my goodness.
about the Taylor Swift Phantom Continues. Now she's going to have a street named after her, but the person that wrote it in says not sure where. For the artist, and I use that term lightly, they're not a big Taylor Swift fan here. They go, what about the other great female artists, like Aretha Franklin, or Dusty Springfield, or Barbara Streisand, or Dionne Warwick? The ones that have the real true talent. They don't think Taylor has that much talent. Now that's the problem. But Taylor Swift has got the popularity.
She does, but she's also a talented young woman.
According to her fans, she is.
Well, no, I'm not a Swiftie, but you know, I remember her when she was just coming out, and she just sat there with her guitar and you know, she was writing music and playing and
And she does her own stuff.
she does, and as far as she's become very popular. Yeah, she works very hard, and I'm not a fan. I mean, now a lot of her songs are all about that boyfriend did me wrong, and this is what I'm doing now. And
That's
all.
what my daughter
I
tells
think
me.
they've
But-
all been that way.
They've all but that's what I'm saying. They've
More or
all been
less.
that. But you know, when she first you can't take. She plays many instruments. She writes songs. But now you're right. They're pretty much all the same. That boyfriend, you
Did
know.
me wrong.
But
Well,
know.
the person who wrote this in, by the way, and you can write one in too. 766
but I mean, she's no Barbara Streisand.
We just mentioned just an overrated talent, and but that's what it is. Just because you have the talent doesn't mean you're gonna have the popularity. And it's the people that are popular that get streets named after them.
Right. And she works. I mean, you got to give the young woman. She works,
She works
really
really hard.
hard.
Okay.
She works really hard.
Ed's wheels have been turning in his head.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a Swiftie.
Yeah.
I don't care for her music. I probably never have. But I think that her popularity is greater by an immeasurable means more than any of the women that you mentioned
mentioned?
earlier.
You're right.
You know, I'm not saying that you need to name a street after her, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm not talking talent-wise. I'm talking about
Popularity.
popularity-wise. I mean, she's got it all over any of those.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you take Barbara Streisand.
Oh, shit.
and she does well. She'll sell out Radio City Music Hall, but would she sell out Gillette Stadium
For 3 days in a row.
for 3 days
Yeah,
in a row?
no, I don't think she
I
should.
probably not.
She's not a Gillette Stadium kind of gal.
Is
though.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right about
you
that.
know, I mean, she's more like I'll go to the Vegas Strip than one of the fancy.
Yeah,
you know,
she's a
yeah,
Celine
she's-
Dion kind of.
Yeah, Celine Dion.
I'll be at the
you know.
MGM for
Yeah,
6 weeks.
Yeah,
kind of
you know,
thing.
she's not. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to move along, and it's time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group. So we'll send it back over to Swifty Ed Carew.
No, I am
No,
not.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, thanks again, Joe.
I heard it wrong.
Thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Integrity Trust Service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. Also use investment grade quality bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, you can call us at 765-8880. Integrity Trust and Service, the Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. And more of the Coffee and program is coming your way. Give us a call in for comments and questions at 766-1240.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. This Friday night at the Levitt Amp Woonsocket free concert at River Island Art Park, we open with Rhode Island singer-songwriter Josh Kerwin.
Yes, she was an American girl, raised on promises.
Then our headliners, the Rhode Island legend, 50 years in the making, Steve Smith and the Naked Truth.
Hang on, hold tight, we're gonna make our move tonight.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON, AM, and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. Our broadcast is sponsored in part by Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center, Tasca Buick GMC, Family Discount Furniture, Dean Bank, Peter J. Hopkins Attorney at Law, and Jerry's Bluffing Boutique.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. And let's see. The person that owns the house out in Burrville, better known as the Conjuring House. There's a bunch of movies called The Conjuring.
Oh yes,
And
yes,
it's a house out in Burrville that
Yes.
was
That's where they
haunted,
filmed it. Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yes.
And there were people that owned it, and they just got so sick and tired of so many people coming and walking on their property and taking pictures that they sold it.
They sold it.
We gotta get out of here. So they have sold it to somebody else, and now that person, Jacqueline Nunez, tells the Providence Journal that she wants to allow overnight guests to camp out on the property. Now, you can't be bringing in your RVs. We don't want to turn this into a campground. But tents would be okay. And but the neighbors, they're like, hey,
Not zoned for
this
business,
is
right?
not what we anticipated when we bought our house on this street. Neighbors have said they are sick of the extra traffic caused by what has turned into now a tourist attraction. People
Yeah.
come from all over the United States to
Yeah.
come see the Conjuring House. The Burrillville Zoning Board is holding a public hearing today to consider a special use permit.
Really?
Well, if you bring it up to the board, they have to bring it
Well,
up and
they
talk
have to
about
bring it up and talk about
I mean,
it,
they may
yeah.
shoot it down,
Yeah.
but they may allow it. And I wonder how much, we'll charge you what, $30 to camp out? And how many campsites, how many tent sites can we have on the property?
Porta
Per
potty.
night.
Porta potties out there. Think about it.
Do you have to have that?
Well, don't you?
I don't know.
Where they gonna go?
I don't know.
They're
This
not
is-
gonna go knock on the door. May I use your bathroom? I don't think so. So that
Okay,
means,
then-
I mean, think about it. Yes,
Mhm.
tents. Yes, all kinds. Parties might occur in
Well, and then.
those. But they will need porta potties.
Yep.
You
And,
have to provide other means of getting water.
Water.
You
that-
do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Electricity. Yeah.
Mhm.
I see. I can see people starting fires, just
Well, you-
campfires.
Right. Exactly.
But that could grow into bonfires.
Could. Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I think the neighbors have a legitimate
They
concern.
have They do have a very
About this. Hey,
legitimate
we don't want
concern.
this on our
yeah,
street,
No, they
so-
really do.
So they may be
So-
showing up at the
So
zoning board
go
meeting
to the
tonight
zoning
and-
board meeting and let your voices
and
be
say,
heard.
hey, no, thank you.
Yeah.
we have campgrounds for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Out that way, just go to that.
And
I
I'm
was gonna say there
not
must be a
fami-
KOA around somewhere.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
You know.
But the Conjuring House is not on the campground site, so we want to come
No.
see the house. Have you
Well-
seen these movies?
No.
Neither have I.
No,
They're actually
no,
too
that's
scary. I
not
don't
my
wanna see them.
no, that's not my cup of tea. Yeah,
It's not like Ed's got fun ghosts at his house.
yeah.
These are not the fun ghosts. These are scary.
those are
scary.
nasty guys.
These are the nasty
No,
ghosts
we
over
got
here.
good guys.
All right, there you go. Well, if you tried to be in the movie Good Burger 2, they're all done. If they didn't call you, you didn't make the cut. They've wrapped up and they've moved on. And they filmed in North Providence at the old Friendlies, which they turned into a Good Burger. And then they moved on to Providence, Warwick, and East Greenwich to film in other places. And they're all set here in Rhode Island. It's back to Hollywood,
There you
and where
go.
they will continue to do whatever they do. And then they'll edit the whole thing together, and then it will be on Paramount Plus if you use that streaming service later on this year. And take a look at it to see if you can see parts of Rhode Island. Say, hey, I know that place. Have you seen any feedback or backlash on Netflix with the whole you can't share passwords anymore? Is it affecting them?
Yeah,
in
their
any
stock
way?
is up.
Is it up?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's affecting them in a good way.
They've their earnings are up.
Okay.
They've apparently a lot of people who were not paying are now paying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I must be in the minority. I think I told you it was my son said, "Hey, use my password."
Yeah.
My son lives in Maine. We're like, "Okay, if it works, great."
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, it doesn't work anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And but we haven't signed up for Netflix. I don't think we use it enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Plus, I've got others.
They
so-
did something else too.
What do they do?
Well, before there were no commercials.
You're right. That was the
so
point, right?
you paid what you paid. I don't
Mhm.
remember. I mean, I have it, but there's different tiers.
So 10, 12, 15.
Yeah,
kind of
something like that. Up to I think
Okay.
it goes up to $19.99. I'm not sure
All right.
for like 4K streams and
Yep.
four multiple streams instead of one or two.
Mhm.
What they've done, if they come out with a lower price tier with commercials, and so a lot of people have taken that tier instead of they either came down from the higher tier
Mm-hmm.
to the tier with the commercials, or if you were getting it free before and you didn't want to pay $15 or $20 or whatever the heck it was, well, I'm not sure what the price is. It might be $5.99 or $6.99 a month with commercials. That has worked out well for them because they're getting money from people they weren't getting before, and
the
they're
ads.
getting commercial money.
Mhm.
They're getting money from the advertisers, so it's worked out well for
So
them.
that's why their
No, that's good.
earnings are up. Okay. Now I'm also reading that some of the other streaming services might follow Netflix's stance.
Well, most of the other streaming services already have, it's a paid subscription, and certain, like Peacock has a free subscription, and then there's a premium subscription for so much a month and stuff like that. And just this morning, funny you bring that up, you mentioned Paramount.
Yeah.
Paramount owns Pluto TV, which is
That's
free,
free. Yeah.
but they also own Showtime, I believe it's called.
The cable network.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but they have that streaming also. So this morning they announced that they're going to combine both of them, and I think they're raising the price because it's I don't know, not sure. So they're looking at what Netflix did and trying to figure out how can we do
How can we
something
do it similar?
similar. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but that's what was announced this morning.
It was just funny because my son was down one time, and all of a sudden he just says, "Okay, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got Amazon, you got Disney Plus." Oh, great! And I don't get a bill? No. All right.
There you go. Well, I think a lot of people were doing
Yeah.
that. Lots of.
And
That's
now,
that's another one that's doing that. They're combining all of that.
which one?
Disney is combining it with Hulu and you know,
Okay, and ESPN.
Yeah.
And okay. Interesting. I've only had to do that a few times where it was either a Bruins game or it was a Red Sox game or whatever, and the game was on ESPN something being streamed. It had, you had to go search and find it, and when that happens, the posts on Facebook and Twitter blow up because people are like, where's the game? It's not on Nessun, it's not on Fox, it's not on ABC. Where can I want to watch the game? Where is it? and then people respond, well, you gotta stream it on ESPN Plus or whatever they call it in the streaming service. People are like, I don't have that. And it was a game. I think there was a Red Sox game earlier this year. It was only on Apple TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or maybe it was a Bruins game. It was earlier this year. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't watch that game. I'm missing it because I don't have Apple TV. And
Yeah,
I'm certainly not signing up for Apple TV for one game.
I'm
You
not
know.
sure which night it is, but they do have baseball games for one night that they've got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their
Apple
deal.
TV.
It's their deal with Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It's Fox and ESPN, and then Apple gets it for this day,
See-
and then Apple gets it for this day. And,
See, that's kind of the problem that I always see with this. You don't want to pay $200 for to Verizon Fios or Cox or whoever you got, Comcast, whoever
Right.
you got, because you don't watch most of the channels. Okay, let's face it.
Yeah.
You probably watch 10 or 15. That's about it.
Those are your
got
favorites.
250 of them that you never watch. Some of you don't even know they exist, right? But if you get rid of the TVs, you get rid of that particular cable package, and I'm gonna get Netflix, and I'm gonna get Paramount, I'm gonna get Peacock, and I'm gonna get Disney, and I'm gonna get your bill comes out almost as high.
the same.
Yeah.
Because if you want to get all the things you had before,
Yeah.
guess what? You got to pay to get all the things you
starts
had
to add
before.
up. All right. Now, I read an article maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, no. It's actually coming to this, where us as the consumer, not maybe in 5 or 10 years, us as the consumer, we will have to pay to watch the Super Bowl. Because NBC or Fox or whoever is going to put it on their streaming service. And that's how you'll have to watch the game. And if you don't have Paramount, you'll have to pay to get it in order to watch the Super Bowl. I'm like,
So to basically be making it a pay-per-view.
that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
We
And
used to do that before.
not with the Super Bowl.
No, not with the
No, we
Super
used to
but
do
remember,
boxing.
boxing used to
It
do
was-
that
it was
because I
boxing
remember
and wrestling would do it.
boxing. Yep, I remember that.
But
Yeah.
now that the Super Bowl is this big, huge American thing that
Yeah.
most people watch, even if they're not football fans,
Yeah.
will tune in to watch it. Will they pay, especially if your team's not in it,
Mm.
will they pay to watch the Super Bowl? And I think the majority of the people
They
will
will. Yeah. I
pay to
think
see
most
it.
people
But
will.
especially if the price is
Yeah.
$15 or
Well, the
whatever.
sports bars will be busier than ever.
Oh yeah.
People will go and
Jam-packed. So watch for that coming.
Yeah.
Not this year, but that may happen.
I would be surprised if it's only $15.
Really, you think it'd be higher? Obviously.
I mean, I
higher.
remember watching boxing years
Boxing
ago, heavyweight champion of the
Yeah.
world kind
Yeah.
of thing, and you're paying like, I don't know, Seems to me I remember paying $39 or $49
That
for
much?
it. We'd get
Yeah.
3 or 4 guys together,
Well,
and
that's-
we'd all pitch
that-
in and
well, and
go to
that's-
one
yeah.
guy's house.
Well, that's why I said I remember
Ooh,
that because
that's illegal.
Why is it illegal to go to one guy's house?
No.
Because they weren't. They weren't
No,
charging you to be there, right?
Who?
no,
No.
they-
Did
no.
you pay if you paid your friend to watch it?
No.
that
No,
part's
no.
illegal.
No, it was 3 or 4 guys who would say, "Hey,
Yeah.
you guys want to watch the game? Yeah, it's
Come on
$40
over.
bucks."
Yeah.
And I'll say,
Okay.
"Well,
We
we'll
did-
we'll all pitch in $10 bucks."
Yeah.
I say,
Oh, I think
"Well,
that's the illegal part.
well, too bad. It's the
No, the 10 bucks is
But
really
no, but
it's the
you know
chips and drinks.
what our people used to do? Like, okay, we'll go to your house. You're gonna buy it this time, or
Next
we're
time.
going
Oh,
next
yeah, you
time.
can
We're
do it
going to
that
your
way,
house
yeah.
and you're buying it,
All
and it's
right.
your. And that's
I know
what we
the
were
statute of
doing.
limitations
They were
has
all good
expired, so I'm
friends,
not
right,
worried about it.
exactly, and that's what we did. That's why I said when you talked about the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, we used to do that. I remember.
Well, remember, you heard it here first. You may
Yeah,
have to,
yeah,
in
yeah,
years
yeah.
from now, you may have to pay to watch the Super Bowl, and then that'll move on. World Series, Stanley Cup, NBA championship, the Masters, everything like that.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right, gotta take a break here on the Coffee and Program. It's time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by Compassion International.
Cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms today, high of 77. Tonight, more showers and thunderstorms, more cloudy skies, and 66 degrees. Wednesday's weather, a 50% chance of more showers and thunderstorms. Some storms could produce some small hail, gusty winds, and heavy rain, of course. Mostly cloudy and 79. Thursday, only a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms as the storm system passes. Partly sunny skies with a high of 81. Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 83. Saturday, a 40% chance of a shower, partial sunshine, 79. Sunday, 50-50 chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a high of 76. And on Monday, partly sunny and 82.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, looks like the sun has come out, and we have 76 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Preventive care is essential to a good dental program because many factors can affect your teeth, including diet and medications. Some problems include cracked or chipped teeth as well as compromised fillings. If you don't have a personal dentist, Dr. Jeffrey Dodge always welcomes new patients. Dr. Dodge is a people person who will make you feel comfortable. Check his website for more specific information about his community service and respect from his peers. Dr. Dodge, 1438 Park Avenue, Woonsocket at Park Square, 762-3044.
A great summertime activity is back at the Beef Barn. It's Cruise Night, and it takes place tonight starting at 4 p.m. Take a stroll through the more than 150 classic cars where you'll marvel at the beauty and craftsmanship of these automotive gems. Whether you're an avid collector or simply appreciate the nostalgia, Cruise Night at the Beef Barn is an event not to be missed. If you get hungry, the Beef Barn has their full menu, including their famous roast beef sandwiches, plus chowder and clam cakes. Cruise Night at the Beef Barn, 200 Industrial Drive, North Smithfield, tonight and every Tuesday night during the summer, starting at 4 p.m.
This Friday night at the Levitt Amp Woonsocket free concert at River Island Art Park, we open with Rhode Island singer-songwriter Josh Kerwin.
Yes, she was an American girl, raised on promises.
Then our headliners, the Rhode Island legend, 50 years in the making, Steve Smith and the Naked Truth.
Hang on, hold tight, we're gonna make our move tonight.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON, AM, and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. Our broadcast is sponsored in part by Rhode Island State Senator Roger Pickard, Woonsocket City Council Vice President Valerie Gonzalez, Woonsocket School Committee Chair Paul Bourget, and Woonsocket City Councilman Brian Thompson.
All right, it's Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And there's a new law in Rhode Island, and I just thought this was just was always there. But the new law establishes that Rhode Islanders must get their cars inspected in their home state. I always thought if you lived in Rhode Island, you got your car inspected in Rhode Island. If you lived in Mass, you went to a Mass place and you got it inspected there. But apparently, on border towns like ourselves
Yeah.
and Tiverton, some of the inspection places could do both. Could do Rhode Island and Mass,
Oh,
just to keep extra business.
yeah.
But that's not the way anymore. Governor McKee signed the legislation sponsored by a state representative. They say this is a response to a lack of cooperation from Massachusetts and Connecticut when it comes to drivers from those states. Legislation takes effect January 1st. New law established Rhode Islanders must get their cars inspected in their home state. So you can't, because you're in North Smithfield, which borders Uxbridge, you can't drive into Uxbridge and get it inspected there to be inspected in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And Ed, we can't come into Rhode Island to get our car inspected here. I would never think to do
Never.
to do
Well,
that
no, I
did.
mean, we just always get ours inspected in the same place.
in the state. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That was one of the things that always used to bother me, a little bit when I'd buy a new car at Audi in Warwick, and then I had to go get it inspected in
In
Massachusetts
Massachusetts.
within so many days.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, why couldn't you guys do it? Yeah, well,
No, because it's
Oh, it's all
because
about
another
who's getting
state.
paid, right?
All right, so that's that. I don't know if people do this, and but if after January 1st,
Can't.
if you do it, you're gonna have to find a new place in Rhode Island. If you're a Rhode Island driver, to get your car inspected
Yeah, that's what we've
in
always
state.
done. I don't know.
I've never seen a station that advertised
Both.
doing both.
No.
I haven't either. They
No,
always
you-
in Mass. They always put out the
You would think
the
you would see
numbers.
that along the
Yeah.
borders.
Hey, we do
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
And we have car repair places that actually advertise in their advertisement says we're a Rhode Island official inspection station.
Yeah, that's
never
what
say we're both.
No, they don't. They say official.
So
Yeah.
so maybe it's not a big thing around here. Of course, the person that put it in, the state rep says it's affecting small businesses in Tiverton. So I don't know if people from New Bedford and Fall
New
River
Bedford
are coming over. To get their cars inspected.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easier in Rhode Island than the Mass. I hate getting my car inspected, by the way, in Mass. I always think something's going wrong. Because they just come, whenever I get it done, they just come over and say, okay, it didn't pass. Again? Then they put the big X. So embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's like having the scarlet letter on your car. It's the big X. And you got to get it fixed, I think, within 10 days.
Oh, I thought they gave you more than that. No.
Not too much.
No.
I don't know. I think it's 30 days.
Is it 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
got to ride around. You got the big X where the sticker is, and then they got the little piece of paper to hand to the nice police officer when they pull you over for having the big X in your windshield. And you can say, no.
I had that
Yes,
experience.
it didn't pass inspection. I got to get something fixed. But here's the date that it didn't pass, and you're within
I'm working
time.
on it.
So get it
Well,
done.
I think it's 30 in
Is it 30?
Massachusetts, not Rhode Island. I don't know about Rhode Island.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because not long ago, within the last few months, our truck, our Silverado that we used to, haul the horses,
Mm-hmm.
trailers and stuff, needed a new battery. And so we had a new battery put in. And while the truck was having the new battery put in, it was due for an inspection, and it failed the inspection.
Oh, yeah.
And
because
they
of
told
the-
us
Yeah.
we're going to put the red X, like
Yeah,
you said, we're
yeah.
going to put that on there, but come back in 2 weeks and it'll be okay. It takes 2 weeks for the new battery to do something or other to the system.
I see.
Yeah.
And I said, what? So as long as you're back within a month, but it should be okay in 2 weeks. So I said, oh, okay. And it was. We went back, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks later, and it passed right away.
All right, well, good. All right, so keeping it on the whole car thing, I don't know if you saw this story. We had this story about a year or so ago. Remember they had issues at the Brockton, Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles? There was a big scandal.
Yes.
There was the 4 people got fired, and the director or a higher up person at the Brockton RMV was taking kickbacks basically for
yeah.
tests that weren't taken. Well, she's pleading guilty, and she's from Taunton. She's agreed to plead guilty to federal charges accusing her of issuing state driver's license to people who didn't even take the road test. Yep. Prosecutors say 55-year-old Nita Centillo admits to paying a road test examiner at the Brockton RMV Center to report passing tests for people who did not show up for the test. So what she was basically doing was going to the people who didn't want to take the test. Okay, I'm making up these numbers. Okay, $200 and I'll get you a test. I'll get you a passing test, and then we pay the test person. Here's $100 for you to make sure this person passes the test. They didn't. Not only did they just didn't show up to do it, and next thing you know, you get your license. Because that's the way it's done in Massachusetts now. Because I just know, because my daughter went through this when she went for her learner's permit, and we went to the Taunton RMV. That's when they took her picture for her license right then, and they did all the paperwork. And then she went back, took the driving classes. She got her learner's permit, and then took the written test she had to take. She must have done it at some time. And then she went for her driving test with the registry people, and she passed it. And then, okay, like here, because you passed it, your license is just mailed to you. You don't have to go back to the registry to get your picture taken.
Mm-hmm.
We've already taken it.
Mm-hmm.
So as the money's
plus
changing
the-
hands, and we'll just send out the driver's license.
Right. Well, by taking the picture right away, though, then they're sure that that's the right person that's taking the test. Is that what they use it for an ID? No.
Well, I think she did get something printed out, but now it's printed out. It's not
Yeah.
the color picture,
Right.
but it's similar.
Yeah.
So, and the people, I don't know if you're over 18, you don't have to take driving lessons in Mass.
Really?
You can just take the test, and the road test, and if you pass it, you get it. And some people do that because it's extra expense. All right, I'll just wait 2 years. Not that long, year and a half really in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But she's passing. It's so she's going to plead guilty. Doesn't say she has to pay back the money she fraudulently got. All right, one other thing going on in Massachusetts, Ed. Stay out of Boston.
You talking about the tunnels?
The Sumner Tunnel is
Yes.
closing
Yes.
for 6 weeks, right after the 4th, July 5th to August 19th or something like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, but that's how, if I were to go to Logan Airport, that's the way to get back,
Yeah.
through the Sumner Tunnel to go south. How are you going to do it now? I don't know.
Well, they said a lot of the Ubers and those are,
Yeah, let them figure it out.
they're not gonna. Yeah.
That's
They're not gonna do airport runs. They said.
Really, the Uber people are saying that.
Well, yeah, those ride share people. Yeah.
Well, if you're one of those ride share people, oh, here we go. I didn't know the Sumner Tunnel is 89 years old. Maybe they should be working on it.
Perhaps they should.
It links East Boston and downtown. They'll be closed for construction July 5th through the end of August, so it's almost 2 months. Alternatives to avoid traffic delays include the Newbury-Rockport commuter rail line, ferry rides with free or reduced fare, and the Blue Line. Okay. Do you take the Blue Line to, like, North Station? Well, this is going to it gets convoluted after this.
Wow.
I'm thinking of the people that have to go south. Because the ferry doesn't take you that way. And going to Newbury-Rockport is going in the opposite direction, so. Wow.
Well, stay out of Boston.
Stay out of Boston is what it comes down to. But if you're a driver for one of those rideshare services, it comes up on their screen. And, so and so's looking for a ride. This is where they are. This is where they want to go. You can either accept it or not.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a piece that they're going to say, what,
Oh, to the airport?
We're
Forget
going
it.
to avoid the airport. So.
Well, that'll make the taxis happy, I guess. And,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because I've been up there with the taxis and the Ubers and the buses.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of honking of horns that go on. And then there's the Mass State Police that are there trying to, you're doing it wrong kind of thing, telling people. It's not fun. So
I try to stay away from Logan. At all possible, stay away from Logan.
That's right. So Ed has some, not that it was Ed, but some issues down there in Middleborough.
Yeah.
over the weekend.
I saw that. Every time
yeah.
I see Middleborough,
Yeah.
yeah, what's
Oh,
going on? Yeah.
Because it's such a small, sleepy little
know.
town, but he had a murder.
Three
Down,
murders.
three?
Three.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, no. He
Oh, the
stabbed
stabbings, they weren't murders.
Stab
Yeah.
three. Okay. Was this? Did the police come out and say anything? Did they say is this just random that this took place, or was this a targeted thing, or did they say?
I haven't heard
No?
anything about that.
All right.
I got the impression they knew each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From, you know,
Well, that's a better. It was a
But you-
targeted thing.
He
but,
stabbed three
an
three
18-year-old stabbed.
Yeah.
Three kids. Three, yeah.
Now, do you know where this attack took place, or what street it was on, and is
They
it near
said
you?
they said the area, and I was not familiar with it.
Okay.
And I don't remember what they said. No.
Okay. Well, that's we don't know what's going on in Massachusetts. We had that 3 stabbings.
Yeah.
We had the triple murder in Newton, Massachusetts,
Newton, yes.
with the
Yeah.
3 elderly people.
Yeah.
They arrested someone for that, a 41-year-old man, charged him with the 3 murders, and that was basically random. Just-
That was random?
that was not, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Christopher Fergan was arrested yesterday, also charged with burglary and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Bodies were found Sunday morning. They were all in 80s and 90s. And then there was a shooting. 2 people were killed in Braintree, Massachusetts. Shooting over there. So I'm like, geez, what is going on in Massachusetts? Makes you wonder what's in the water up there. So, all right, it is time to take our final break here in the Coffee and program. More coming your way. We ask you to please stick around to ON, AM, and FM.
Lead can be poisonous, especially to children. That's why Rhode Island has a renovation, repair, and painting rule. If you're a homeowner and you're planning any work that could disturb lead paint, you must protect your family or tenants by hiring a licensed lead renovation firm to correct lead paint hazards. And if you're a skilled tradesman, you must be specially trained and licensed to work on any projects that could disturb lead paint. Learn more at health.ri.gov/RRP. A message from the Rhode Island Department of Health and Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
This Friday night at the Levitt Amp Woonsocket Free Concert at River Island Art Park, we open with Rhode Island singer-songwriter Josh Kerwin.
Yes, she was an American girl, raised on promises.
Then our headliners, the Rhode Island legend, 50 years in the making, Steve Smith and the Naked Truth.
Hang on, hold tight, we're gonna make our move tonight.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON, AM, and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. Our broadcast is sponsored in part by Navigant Credit Union, Thunder Mist Health Center, Casey for Congress campaign, Woonsocket City Councilman John Ward, Rhode Island State Representative Robert Phillips, and Born O Uniforms.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
All right, Coffee in here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. And Ed was just telling us, now Joe Biden says he's going to make a major announcement, Ed?
A major announcement, a major
In the next couple of
speech,
days.
yeah.
So it's not, we haven't got it narrowed down to when this is going to happen.
I'm not sure if they said Wednesday or Thursday or.
All right. And he's going to tout his major economic accomplishments?
Yes.
Is that the major announcement? Here are my major economic accomplishments?
You know, on his economic accomplishments since he took office.
Or is the major announcement about how everyone gets the internet?
The internet. That was the latest thing this morning. $40 million, I think. They said they were going to, and it's going to make 100,000. It'll develop 100,000 jobs to get everybody hooked up. Because
I can
it's
see that
essential.
happening out west, you know, where people are like miles apart from each other, and you got to get the internet to everybody out there. But,
Because
So
everybody needs it.
everybody, well, it's like Oprah
Should
Winfrey.
have it.
Everybody gets a car.
Yeah.
You get a car.
Everybody needs it.
Everybody gets the
Everybody
internet.
needs it,
Well,
whether you can afford it or not.
well, now it's free, so you don't have to afford it.
Yeah.
Now, will we get it for free?
No.
Some will. Some will. I don't
you.
think they're gonna. I don't think it means that I'll get my monthly payment waived. It'll probably go up, so we can pay for. Anyways.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to Biden's major announcement. So,
Uh-huh.
okay. All right. Other things going on in the news. This takes chutzpah. Let's use that. This takes guts. This is unbelievable. An Indiana man robbed a woman and then asked her out on a date on social media. I'm like,
Okay.
now, police say Amber Baron was checking her inbox checking her mailbox when Damien Boyce held her at gunpoint. All right, came up to her while she's checking her mailbox. So she gives Boyce roughly $100 in cash that she had in her purse, and then he demanded she add him on Facebook.
Okay.
The man proceeded to message Baron and said he'll pay her back, then eventually asked her to come chill with him, which is a way of asking them out. So this is how he was arrested. Boyce was charged with robbery and is being held on bond.
Well, it's a regular Casanova.
What's he thinking?
I-
That she's not going to use this information against him. And
my God.
is that what you're going to have to ask your grandkids this? Is that what's come with? This is how you ask. This is how people ask each other out now through social media. We don't call them up. We don't go face to face. We do it through text messaging, basically.
Oh my gosh. What is this world coming to?
I don't know. It's been a while since I had asked
It's
someone out on
no
a date.
words,
so-
right?
Wow. I guess it's easier to, but it's easier to shoot someone down this way rather than say okay. But
Oh my gosh.
I love that. Don't worry. Let's get together and I'll pay you back the $100 I stole from you.
Yeah. Friend.
Good plan.
Accept my friend request.
Well, she did. It looks like she did, in order to probably turn him over to the police.
God.
So she's the smart one here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, she's the smart one, all right.
all right.
Oh my God.
Honda's recalling nearly 1.2 million cars. There's a problem with the rear view cameras.
Yeah, I heard
Yep.
that.
The company says camera images may not display on the dashboard screen due to a faulty cable connector. So the recall includes Passport SUVs from 2019 to 2023 and the Honda Pilot SUV from 2019 to 2022. Odyssey minivans from 2018 to 2023 are also affected. Honda will begin notifying owners next month, and dealers will fix the issue for free.
Well, I hope so.
Awful nice of them.
Yeah, as they should.
That's a lot of cars, 1.2 million, to have the screen go blank. Because I don't know about you guys, but once you get that rear view camera, and you get used to it, you rely on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't want to turn around anymore.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah.
This is how you back up now.
I'm still getting used to that because my old car didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I'm still.
Give it a year.
Well, you know what it is. I'm still not sure. It's telling me the truth. So I know and I see it, but I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still checking just to be because they told us we should.
Well, of course you
When
should.
we were taught how to drive. Make sure you look back there. So I'm
Alright.
still getting used to it.
Okay. Well, once you get used to it,
Yeah.
you rely on it. You rely on it almost all the time.
Okay.
And
I'll take your word for it.
I like pulling out of, when you're backing out of a parking space, when you got a car on both sides.
yeah.
I get something called, I think it's called Top View or something, where it shows you not only what's behind you, but what's on,
Both
what
sides.
might be coming from both sides.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That's yeah.
It's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, but your Genesis, I mean, is so smart.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty smart.
it's the Batmobile.
I know.
There are no bats in it.
Did you do you know all the things that it can do now? How
I
long
think
did-
so.
Yeah. How long did it take you? 'Cause, I
Oh,
mean,
it took, I would say it took a good month.
Yeah.
And then when I brought in a couple of weeks ago, I downloaded, they told me I had to download a map. My maps were
Old.
old, right?
Okay,
You know,
download new
and your
ones.
navigation won't work right. Like download this, so I did. I downloaded it and I installed it, and it changed everything. I mean, everything. It changed the views. It changed everything. I had to take. It took me almost 2 weeks to get everything back the way I had it
gee.
before. Yeah, right. Now, it's probably my own fault because at one point I saw something that said, "Do you want to keep this?"
Oh,
or
yeah,
do
you
you want to
don't-
I hit
you put
reset.
yes.
It said, "Oh yeah, it's gone.
Oh,
Everything's
yeah.
gone."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to do
I
this.
did. I
Yes,
can't
yeah.
blame them. I can only blame me for not reading properly.
Oh yeah, that's won't do anything. That's won't do
User
anything.
error.
All right. Well, just be careful next time you're in New York City. By the way,
Okay.
the price of your pizza may be going up because the city of New York is cracking down on carbon emissions, and this is affecting New York City pizzerias. The city's Department of Environmental Protection is drafting new rules requiring the eateries to cut carbon emissions by up to 75%.
What,
And so-
cooking too many pizzas and it's just
No,
discharging
it's
stuff
what
into
it's
the
what
air.
they're using. Some of them use older coal, and some have the wood-fired ovens.
Yeah, that's what I meant. They're discharging
That's right.
stuff up into the
Yeah.
air.
Not that they're cooking too many. It's just that the ovens are running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
okay.
used coal? I thought it was wood.
Some use older coal,
Really?
and I guess it's an older pizza oven.
Oh,
and some are
okay.
using, and it's the wood-fired ovens are sending emissions into the air. And
That's
there's
true.
wood-fired pizzas places around here.
Yeah.
And but now to fix it, the pizzerias have to buy expensive emission control devices.
Of course they do.
So
yeah.
now your
Yeah.
$15 pizza is going to be
Gonna be
$25
$25, yeah.
in New York City.
Are all those smokehouses too? I wonder what's going to happen with them.
Hmm.
Because they use what? Pellet. They use wood.
They use what I'm thinking the guys
You know, the
over
smoke-
at Good Stuff Smokehouse.
Yeah.
That's not pellets. They buy a
That's
specific
wood,
type
certain
of wood,
kind of wood. Yeah.
like cherry or something like that.
Yeah.
To get a certain flavor.
Flavors. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but they're not in New York City.
No, they're not.
And they're the only one in Blackstone. So
This
maybe
is
it's
true,
okay.
Yeah. Cumulative effect of all those pizzas. Yeah.
The price of pizza is going up in New
Yeah.
York City. So
But it's sinking too.
the
Did you
city's
hear that?
sinking
It is.
into the into the
something
East River.
a millimeter every year or something like that. Yeah.
The island is sinking. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was on the news. I find things like that interesting, because of so many people, all the buildings.
Oh, it's too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Wow.
But I mean, it's like a millimeter or something
I mean-
like that every year.
All right. So,
So-
it's not going to crash anytime
No,
soon.
not soon. No. Oh no, don't go.
Well,
Yeah.
a millimeter here and a millimeter there.
There, everything
Before
adds
you know
up,
it, you
you
get
know.
an inch.
Eventually, yeah. So there you go.
All right.
Put out all the wood fires.
That's right. All right. An ultra marathon runner has defeated the women's Western States 100-mile race record by over an hour.
An hour?
Courtney Dawalter took nearly 80 minutes off of Elle Greenwood's 2012 record. Dawalter took about 15 and a half hours to finish the California race. She told I Run Far, that's a website I guess, that she's thankful her body took her to the finish line, but she was, quote, deep in the pain cave and really focused on every single step, every single second.
Wow.
So 15 and a half hours for an ultra marathon, is that 2 or 3 marathons put together?
Wow. How many miles?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Just.
But if you're running for 15 and a half hours straight,
God.
I'm thinking of the Boston Marathon. Those the people that come in first
Yeah.
can do it in 2.5
Yeah.
hours, maybe 3.
Right.
So 15 hours. Of course, you're not going to be running quite as fast by there at the end. Why would you put your body through that much pain?
Wow, that's huge.
I don't know. And think of the recovery time it's going to take afterwards. That seems like an awful lot to do. But that's what people like, right? Let's see. Ultramarathon.
I've never heard of an ultra marathon.
The ultramarathon, also called ultra distance or ultra running, is any foot race longer than the traditional marathon length race of 42.195 kilometers, which is 26 miles, 385 yards. So if you're running farther than even if it's 27 miles. It's
That's
an
an
ultra. It's an ultra
ultra-marathon.
marathon. So okay. Various distances are raced competitively, from the shortest common ultra marathon, which is 31 miles, to over 200. Wow.
Wow.
That's a. You gotta have a lot of time in your hands to run that far.
Wow.
And to train. You just don't wake up one day and say, "Hey, let's do this."
Yeah, let's
No.
run for 15 and a half hours.
I have nothing else to do, right? Now, this person can eat anything she wants.
Well, that's right. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about. You're not counting carbs.
Yeah, or anything. You
And
just
you're not worried
eat-
about, should I have that Three Musketeers bar? No, go ahead and have
eat
it.
as many pizzas as she wants.
You're certainly all set. Okay. And Scooter has been crowned the world's ugliest dog. They have those contests.
Yeah, I know.
Scooter, a Chinese crested canine with deformed legs, won the title Friday in California. The event promotes animal adoption and inspirational stories of dogs who have overcome adversity. Scooter escaped being put down and was recognized with $1,500 and a trophy. Well, maybe the owner got the money. I don't think Scooter cares. All right, well, congratulations to them. Have you ever seen pictures of when they do the world's ugliest
Yeah,
dog?
and that
They
makes
are
me-
pretty ugly.
Yeah, and it's like they're
Not e-
exploiting those ugly
Yeah.
little dogs. But I know that it's usually they do it to raise money for
Yeah, for a cause.
for rescue and
Yeah.
all of that. But
They're not even so ugly they're cute.
no,
They're
poor
just so
little
ugly
thing.
they're ugly.
I feel bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for today's show. Thank you very much for listening in. As always, Ed Carew, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, and Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure as always.
All right, have yourself a great day, everyone. This is Joe Callahan.
right,
Stay
all
tuned
right.
for Gary Smith and the Crew. Do you remember? Is coming away at 9:30 on ON Radio.
Remember to
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin has endorsed Aaron Regenberg, one of 16 Democrats still running for the open seat in the 1st Congressional District. He described Regenberg as fighter and said Rhode Island needs to send him to Congress. Raskin also praised former Congressman Dave Cicilline, who recently resigned to head up the Rhode Island Foundation. The Rhode Island chapter of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving has a new headquarters. It's no longer on Reservoir Avenue in Cranston. They've got new digs on West Shore Road in Warwick. There was a ribbon cutting for that new location yesterday afternoon.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. An audio recording of the 2021 meeting where former President Trump discusses holding secret documents he did not declassify has gone public. CNN obtained the 2-minute tape, which aired on the network Monday.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information.
While talking to a staffer in New Jersey after leaving office, Trump seems to indicate he was holding a Pentagon document with plans